Folks, in the United States of America, there's an auto loan crisis. Auto loan delinquency rates are at record setting highs. Loan loss provisions from financial institutions are setting records as well. And unfortunately, more and more people are getting approved for auto loans right now on more and more expensive vehicles. We're going to break down all the data right here, right now, and expose what's really going on in the auto industry. Pops, let's start here. You have longer auto loan terms than ever before. On average, folks financing the purchase of their used vehicle for upwards of 70 months. That is a recipe for disaster, isn't it?
Well, if it's an older vehicle, for sure, and even younger used vehicles at a loan term of 70 months or 72 months, or we even know of cases of 84 months. Yeah, it's absolutely insane to be financing an older car for 6 or 7 years, because the one thing I can assure you during the life of that loan is there is going to be some type of major repair that is going to become necessary. And you're going to have to choose between that car payment or that repair. And well, there's no sense in making that car payment if you can't make the repair.
So the average used car auto loan term length is 67.2 months right now. And Experian put out the most recent data that shows that there's actually like an S curve of what happens based on the model year of a vehicle and how long the auto loan term is. So for example, Pops, if I go back and I'm purchasing a 2006 used vehicle, which this is going to tie into our discussion around subprime auto loan delinquency, which is through the roof right now, the average loan term length on that 2006 used car getting bought right now is 57.8 months. The low water mark are 2010 model year vehicles with 54.6 month loan terms, and the high water mark would be 2023 model year vehicles. On average, folks are financing those for 71 and a half months. Rounded up, folks, 72 months, 6-year auto loans becoming the norm. Now, at the same exact time that these extended auto loan terms are becoming more and more normalized for used car purchases, we are seeing interest rates go higher and higher. And unfortunately, we're seeing access for those that have really poor credit, subprime credit, increase month over month. So we see longer terms, we see higher interest rates, and we see banks loosening or increasing their willingness, loosening their lending guidelines to actually make these loans available to consumers. And the kicker? Auto loan delinquency rates are at record-setting highs we've never been at before.
Yeah, that sounds like a recipe for disaster for a lot of people out there. You know, the price of vehicles has gotten so high, and the vast majority of buyers, 85% of buyers, are what's known in the industry as payment buyers. They are driven by what their monthly payment is going to be for the vehicle. That's all they're concerned with. They're not concerned with how long they've agreed to pay it back for. They're just interested in how much that monthly payment is. Well, with the higher interest rates and the longer loan terms and easier credit, those people are going to end up with a much longer loan at a higher interest rate. They're going to be paying back a huge amount of interest, and they will probably, in essence, lose interest in driving said car after 3, 4, or 5 years when they still have another year or two left to pay on it, want to get rid of it, and won't be able to. This is just making it too easy for too many people to get too deep credit-wise.
Most floor mats, well, they kind of suck. Yeah, we said it. They're flimsy, they slide around, and they leave your carpet vulnerable to mud, snow, pet drool, and your kid's latest juice box explosion. But your car, it deserves better. You deserve better. And that's why today we're proud to share the sponsor of our video, TuxMat. We trust TuxMat, the hazmat suit for your car's floors. Laser measured for a precision fit, extreme coverage that actually protects, and a premium look that elevates your entire interior. CarEdge tested, expert approved, and yes, our team rocks them too. So head to the link in the video description and protect your car today. Trust us, this is an upgrade your carpet will thank you for. Capital One just came out with their quarterly earnings. They increased their loan loss provisions, which is the money they set aside as expected loans that they are no longer actually going to make money on, that are actually going to get paid off. They increased that number 102%. 192% year over year. up to almost $12 billion, up from 3.9. So 4 billion to almost 12 billion. Year over year, a 192% increase, Dad, from Capital One of the largest auto finance companies out there, just set aside for loans that are no longer going to come due. So again, let's come full circle here. So we've got this trifecta going on right now, Dad. You've got longer loan terms, you've got higher interest rates, and then ultimately you end up with more access to credit. No wonder we have higher loan loss provisions like what we're seeing at Capital One. I'll put you on the spot real quick. Subprime borrower, today's market, buying a used car, financing something for 70 months. What do you think the APR is on that right now?
A
Pre-owned car.
pre-owned car for somebody that has bad credit,
Yep.
25, 26%.
22.1%, which, to be clear, Dad, 30% of the auto loans most recently written, so for last month in July of 2025, 30% of them were subprime auto loans with an average APR of 22%. So no wonder these folks that are getting, and we've done videos about this, the state of the used car market. These are poorer quality vehicles in the used car market right now. No wonder folks are going upside down on their auto loans and simply choosing to not pay them.
Well, you know, if you factor in that the cost of used cars has gone up dramatically, that the average miles on a used car being sold today is 70,000 plus, and then you're going to expect people to have to pay back the loan over 70 months or more. That's a recipe for disaster, because there are going to be issues that develop in that vehicle that are going to require additional expense to be paid in a given month. And between fuel, between insurance, between the car payment, between maintenance, it just becomes untenable for a lot of people out there. And so at a certain point, you have to make a decision. Am I going to pay my car loan, or am I going to repair my car, or am I going to fuel my car? And for a lot of people, these are tough choices. The first choice should have been, I need to buy a car that I truly can afford when I'm buying the car,
Yeah.
and not allow myself just to get sucked in to a monthly payment. You have to understand as a customer what makes up your monthly payment, what that budgeted car needs to be. And sometimes people would be better off if they spent less rather than more, so that they could actually afford the damn thing.
Can I give you the kicker, Dad, in all of this?
Yes.
The latest data from Cox Automotive, it says right here clearly, down payments, the average down payment percentage declined by 40 basis points, possibly reflecting increased consumer demand or greater lender flexibility. So that's the kicker to all this, Dad, is less money is actually being put down on these auto loans as well. So you've got depreciating assets, you've got longer loan terms, which, to your point, you end up in a situation, there could be repairs, maintenance, things like that down the line that you don't even think about today. And then you have less money being put down at the time of origination as well, because the banks are getting lenient again. They're doing higher loan to value ratios and things like that. The alarm bells are going off in my mind, Dad, and I know we're going to continue to talk about this story. The data points suggest there's some doom and gloom around the corner. But then again, the sun will come out tomorrow. The moon will come out that night. The auto industry continues to move forward. But damn, man, this data is pretty scary.
It is. There'll be a lot of people that ultimately will be left behind. But in many of those cases, it was because of poor decisions that they made at the time of purchasing the vehicle, which I believe is why we exist, to try and help educate folks. Because, as we like to say, knowledge is power. Applied knowledge is the real power. And so for anybody that's looking to get a car, do your research, find out how quickly the vehicle you're looking at depreciates, or when you can expect a major repair. The availability of information regarding any vehicle out there today is so much greater than it ever has been in the history of mankind. So please, please, please do your research. Understand what it is you're about to get yourself into.